welcome back to the Robinson Replay. We have another amazing guest for you today, my wife, Marie.
Welcome, Marie. Welcome.
Hi.
My daughter-in-law. Welcome.
It's an honor to be on. If you have been a fan of Luke's for a minute, you know that I was the first guest of his previous podcast. So I've been around. I'm not going to promise that I'm going to have the most elite ball knowledge here, but I will say I think I bring a new audience, which is I'm the first woman on this podcast. So hi, girls.
Great.
I'm here to explain the tea and what's going on.
We do have some tea this week, matter of fact, and we of course have NFL picks. We have some college football playoffs going on this week. And so let's get right into it with a topic just for Marie here, really, because myself and Dad don't know too much about what's going on here, but I think maybe Marie knows football or soccer here probably better than the both of us combined. Probably, I may know a bit more here.
So Luke, are you going to introduce this as the FIFA World Cup that's coming in this summer? Blah blah blah.
Well, there you go. This is the FIFA World Cup. If you didn't know, now you know. Obviously, the 2026 FIFA World Cup is in America, in the USA, in Mexico, and in Canada as the host nations here. And so these are the groups. Tickets are on sale. What do you think about the group stages here and the FIFA World Cup, Marie?
Well, my home country of Germany is probably in a pretty easy group right there. I don't expect any challenges, especially with the group that we're in. The U.S. might have some challenges with the winner playoff of C because that's a given unknown. There's no way to prepare for that. But obviously, all the host countries have that advantage of basically having a higher seed, sort of. Paraguay and Australia, both strong teams, but I don't think they're as strong as the United States. A lot of the other groups, as funny if anybody's been on social media, Egypt and Iran are playing in the Pride game in Seattle, which is hilarious if you know the geopolitical context of those two countries. And quite frankly, kind of disappointed with the pricing of the tickets, especially for fans who will be traveling. We're used to paying, $300, $400 per ticket for an NFL game. However, if we're trying to attract people to come from, Argentina, Algeria, Australia, Jordan, flights are expensive, stays are expensive. So the tickets being up in the thousands or the upper hundreds of dollars is not really affordable for most people. So I'm curious to see what the turnout will be for some of these games.
Yeah, the ticket prices are definitely high, probably the highest they've ever been, probably in FIFA history. From what I've seen here. They just
lowered some the other day, though. They just lowered some. They brought some tickets down. I saw that people were complaining. They ended up bringing some of the ticket prices down in the upper bowl. So I know that, obviously they want full stadiums. They don't want half full stadiums. Looks bad. So I'm pretty sure that one way or another, they're going to fill up those stands.
Yeah, it's such a weird way to get tickets, though, too. Like, I tried to go on the website, and you have to make a whole account and everything, and then you have to essentially reserve what ticket you want, and then request that, and then however long that takes for your request, and then they send it to you of like, oh, now you can buy the ticket. And so it's a really weird thing. Obviously it's the largest sporting event of the world, bar none, and it has all different countries traveling, like Marie said here. So huge thing for the US, for Canada, and for Mexico here.
Just what the U.S. wants nowadays is a bunch of other people from other countries coming in. Sounds like a good recipe for everything.
We have the Olympics coming in 28 as well.
Oh, I know. It makes me laugh, though, that the way things are going, that they have all these people from all these countries coming in, and we're sending people out and keeping people out that might want to come. but we'll see. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, well, there is a record prize for the winner. It is a $50 million prize for the winner of the FIFA World Cup going to the team association of whoever wins there. Obviously, here, if you don't know anything about soccer, clearly the favorites here are Brazil, Argentina, Spain, France, England, and Portugal and Germany kind of bottoming out at the bottom there. USA does probably have the most favorable group they have maybe ever been in for a FIFA World Cup. The US is heavily favored to get out of their group and make it to the next stage of the final, which they haven't done often when they
Doesn't
are
it
in
go to
the cup. So
16 in the second round?
correct. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so some people are saying they could potentially even make it out of the 16, which would be very historical for the US.
Yeah.
So
I don't see that.
they really should make it at
Uh,
least out of the group stage here.
I have concerns for the Germans. As you said, they're kind of at the lower end of the favorites here. They didn't perform really well in the Euros, and just general consensus is, we've had stars like um, Neuer and all these other elite stars that are aging out. We have a lack of fresh blood in the German national team. And quite honestly, a lot of Germans in Germany are concerned about whether or not we will be able to bring the title home, especially because it's so important to German culture. And we probably have won the most amount of FIFA World Cups. And I frankly want to see something like the Germany Brazil game a decade ago that was so fundamental in restoring the German faith in soccer and beating them 7-2.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see how all this pans out coming up this summer. So very exciting to be hosted
I'm
in
picking
the US.
France.
You're picking France?
Mappe. I'm taking them. Exactly.
If I had to pick here, I'm taking Spain. What about you, Marie?
I will have to stay with the old faithful. I'm a true patriot here. I'm going with Deutschland, das Vaterland.
Deutschland.
There's nothing better like home. So I really hope they pull this one through. Who knows? You never know.
That'd be great. The US is definitely not going to. Next here we have the tea specialty for Marie and all of the girls out there. So Marie, take it away.
Okay, so I am an Ohio State fan, so I honestly was like crying, laughing out loud when I found this man was fired with cause, meaning he doesn't have to be paid for the rest of his contract. Mind you, this man is married and just had twins with his wife a couple months ago. And he was found to be having an affair with his assistant. You can see her picture down there. And she didn't snitch. It was actually a DoorDash driver who delivered Plan B, I believe, that reported it to the University of Michigan. And they did their own independent investigation and found that they had an affair. And he went ahead and drove to his mistress's house and kind of had a crash out and threatened physical harm against her. The police had to get involved, and he was later booked in jail, and then he posted bail. So, and the first thing he did after he posted bail was allegedly, all this is alleged, by the way. I don't want to get the Robinson replay into legal trouble. Allegedly, he had messaged an OnlyFans model hours after he was released from the jail. So crazy stuff.
I thought that was before.
I think it was after.
It was
I
after.
thought it was before.
At least
Okay.
that's what it said. Honestly, with this whole story, I'm like, how much of this is AI? How much of this is fake? Because it was just getting so one thing to get fired because of an affair, but then like rolling into the next thing, into the next thing, into the next. I'm like, oh my gosh, this keeps compiling. And so I'm sure there probably is a lot of fake. There definitely is a lot of fake stories around this whole debacle here, but definitely a lot of truth. And yeah, at the end of the day, Michigan's gonna find a new head coach, and this era of the past decade for Michigan with different scandals and everything else has got to come to an end.
And who's your favorite team, Luke? College wise?
The Bearcats, sir.
Okay, that was Michigan. My bad. My
and
bad.
And the Big Ten it is Michigan, sir. Yes.
Listen, this is what it comes down to, folks. I don't care. He made a mistake. Obviously, he knows he made a mistake. The big thing is, I could tell this guy needs some mental help. He really does. Talk about killing himself, possibly talk about going after this lady. Um, you could always tell that he was having problems on the sideline. He's a very emotional kind of person. He cries a lot. We've seen it in a lot of his after game uh, excerpts, and he's an emotional dude. And obviously, he knows he made a huge mistake because he's not, like you said, he's out of his job. He's not going to probably ever get another job coaching football again. Hopefully, his wife doesn't take every single penny that he earned and he's not on the streets someday, because that definitely could happen too. Needless to say, we'll see what happens, but I think the guy really needs some mental health coming in for him.
I'm praying for his wife, and hopefully she's not mentally affected by this as well, especially with the amount of tabloids and attention that is going to come her way as well as a result of his actions.
This will be a Netflix movie.
Yeah, this doc will go crazy in a few years here. It'll be a quick turnaround for the doc for sure. It could be here next year. Who knows? But next here, we're not necessarily a gossip news podcast here, it's a sports podcast, but crazy story here, crazy story. Next here, we had our pick of last week. We all picked Navy. Drew Rodkey, Dad, and myself all picked Navy there. They were the favorites by 6 points. Navy won, and that won against Army in America's game.
Yes, the midshipmen came out a little rough, and then they started to turn it on at the end, and they got that late touchdown, and the midshipmen pulled it out at the end.
Mm-hmm. And now we have our first round of college football playoffs. The 4 games we have going on here. So let's just start them up right here. We got number 9 Alabama at number 8 Oklahoma. This is on Friday at 8 p.m. Oklahoma is the favorite by 1.5 points at home at Memorial Stadium in Norman, Oklahoma. How do we want to do picks here with everything, Marie and Dad? Do you want?
Like we always do.
Marie, you want to go?
Jess goes first.
Okay, well, I'm not really confident in this one. I think it's going to be a really close game. I do think post Saban era, there's been a lot of crap talking about, are they going to be able to do well in the playoffs? Are they going to be able to win a national championship again? I think, their roster, the amount of talent they have, both offensively and defensively, makes them a great team. The Oklahoma QB plays incredibly inconsistently under pressure, so I think the Alabama defense can take advantage of that. The Alabama front seven dominates, and I would pick Alabama just every time.
Every time. Okay, Dad.
All right.
What do you think?
Well, the first time they played this season, Oklahoma won 23-21. Alabama's losses are 2 to Georgia and 1 to Oklahoma. While Oklahoma, they didn't play the toughest schedule in the SEC. They didn't play the Georgias. They didn't play the Texas A&Ms. They didn't play the tougher SEC teams. I do think that Oklahoma's defense is pretty doggone good. Their front seven is really good, I think. But I just have this feeling it's hard to beat a team twice in the same season. I think Ty Simpson's been struggling a little bit lately. I think this is going to be a bounce back game for him. I'm going to take the Tide to roll on this one at Oklahoma.
Okay. I am going to go with Oklahoma in this game. I think for the reasons you just said there, Dad, with Ty Simpson and Alabama kind of struggling the past few weeks. Like we said last week, they probably should have lost that game against Auburn. They really didn't look too well. And obviously earlier this season, Oklahoma did beat Bama 23-21 earlier in the year. And so they already have their number there. They are the slight favorites here. They are at home, huge home field advantage, obviously, for all of these teams here who are at home. Being in a college football playoff environment will be electric there in Norman for sure. And so just with some of Alabama's struggles and Oklahoma squeaking it out, in my opinion, it's going to be a very close game. I think it will probably come down to a last-minute field goal. That's my bet. It'll come down to a last minute field goal here, and that's what it'll come down to with Oklahoma winning, in my opinion. Next here, going on the other side of the bracket, in sequential order of the time here, the next game is on Saturday at noon. 12 Eastern. We have number 10 Miami at number 7 Texas A&M. Texas A&M is the favorite by 3.5 points at Kyle Field at College Station in Texas. What do you think, Marie?
Texas A&M definitely has the home field advantage here. I think the defensive line is elite, just amazing play for the regular season. I truly think the turnovers will decide this game. I mean, whoever can push the amount of turnovers to turn the ball over back to them. I think the Hurricane offense is just too overly dependent on the chunk plays that they run, and I think Texas A&M is just favored for a reason.
All right, I'm gonna take the U. I'm going with another road dog here. I think Miami's gonna come in and they've been a little inconsistent this year. Obviously, Texas A&M lost just a couple weeks ago. I know they're playing in front of the 12th man, and it's a huge advantage. I get that. But I think Miami has something to prove. I think they're going to come in, and I think they're going to take care of business against Texas A&M.
I am going to do the opposite here. I'm going Texas A&M. I'm gonna go them here. They're the higher seed. Miami and the ACC didn't even make the championship game here yet. They're the number 10 seed. As much as all of the comments on some of our recent clips were very stupid, saying that Tulane and JMU deserve to be in here. I did see some comments, however, saying, well, why is Miami there? They didn't even make the championship game. I think that's very valid there. I think that's very valid. And so yeah, I'm gonna pick Texas A&M. They have a really good defense. Cassius Howell is the leading sacker on their defense, 11.5 sacks on the season. Obviously, their quarterback Marcel Reed is a stud as well. So I just think that they will get it done. They're at home and get by to the next round against OSU. Scary game, the next one, but. Next here, we have another Saturday game. We have a 3:30 start for number 11 Tulane at number 6 Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a very heavy favorite at 17.5 at Vaught Hemingway Stadium in Oxford, Mississippi. What do you think, Marie?
I think despite the huge coaching change, with Lane leaving for LSU, they're still a competitive team. I know there have been questions about whether or not they're going to be able to play in the playoffs the same way that they have been playing in the regular season. Frankly, I don't think I've watched a Tulane game this season. I don't think they belong in the playoffs. I think there's other teams like Vanderbilt who may have been a player, been playing better football. And that's my bias. I do think Ole Miss is going to put belt to butt to this Tulane team, and their defensive front has just a size edge that is going to capitulate this team.
I like it.
Yes. Ole Miss will dominate this game. Really, 17.5 is probably too little. They're going to outmatch them physically, mentally, everything. They're going to outrun them, everything. This game's a blowout. It's at Ole Miss. Tulane may have 25, 30 fans in the stadium. I know they give more tickets than that, but anyways, Ole Miss in a beatdown. I see that. Was it Chambliss, the quarterback for Ole Miss? I think he's going to have a huge game. Yeah, once again, even though it says 11 next to Tulane, they were the 21st ranked team in the top 25. They don't belong. Ole Miss, big.
100%. I have really nothing else to add there. Both of you, I agree with everything there. Tulane doesn't belong here. Ole Miss is going to roll. There should never be spreads this big at 17.5 and 21 in a playoff game. It's just it really is ridiculous. I don't care what you say. It's ridiculous. Next game here, 7:30 p.m. I wonder who we're gonna pick here.
I
Number
have no
12.
idea. I
Number
think I'm
12.
going
Number
with the
12.
JMU.
Number 12, James Madison at number 5, Oregon. Oregon's a 21-point favorite at Autzen Stadium in Eugene, Oregon. Is Pat gonna be there, Dad?
Pat will be there.
Will be
Patrick
there.
Johnson
Let's go,
will be
Pat.
at the game. He's leaving tomorrow. He's taking that big bird out there. He's very excited. His first game at the Duck Stadium.
That will be cool. That will be cool.
Yes.
And once again, I think this is a belt to butt game. I mean, just a massive athletic and depth gap between the two rosters is insane. I don't think I've seen JMU be a big game on a national television. No offense to all the JMU fans. I know they're very excited. I've seen it all over social media how much you appreciate this opportunity. I would love for you to prove me wrong, but I'm just saying the Ducks have you overwhelmed defensively, offensively. The only thing that JMU could do is try their best, and I hope your best is enough, but I unfortunately don't think so.
Pop quiz, where is JMU?
Virginia?
Virginia.
Virginia? Okay, I
Yes.
didn't even know that, honestly.
Yes, it's in Virginia.
I thought I was gonna stump you, maybe. I guess I'm the stupid one.
Yep. Well, anyways, yeah, this, same as the Tulane Ole Miss game. It's Oregon easily over the 21. And the only thing is, I tell you what, they're gonna fight their hearts out, both Tulane and JMU, and you're gonna see some trick plays, I'm sure. Try to catch them off guard. That's the way they have to get some kind of advantage, and by doing some trick plays, it could be rather interesting. I would like to see. I'm gonna watch just because I'm a sports fan, but then we could hush some of the people up that have said that these teams belong and they don't. So
Yeah, clearly I'm picking Oregon here, and yeah, if truly JMU and Tulane both get crushed by what the spread is, if not more there, I think there is no way that we can keep going on this way with the playoff setup where we're gonna have two teams that are not even close to the rest of the competition, and when there's clearly two other teams that everybody knows that if Vanderbilt or if Texas were in here, that the spreads would be half of what they are, if not even closer. And so that's all you need to know there.
or
And
Notre Dame, you could have
Notre Dame,
an
sure.
Ole Miss Notre Dame matchup against an Oregon Texas
I
matchup.
mean, how exciting would that be?
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be amazing. But not to be.
Yeah. Well, we've said enough there for the playoffs. We get it. We're not beating a dead horse there, but it's the truth. It's the truth. And if you don't like it,
Move on.
then don't listen. Now we have some NFL football here. This is the last week. Drew Rodkey, our guest picker last week. What
I think Drew was the first one to beat us both.
He did. He had
clearly the
Drew
best
was our
week. First. I think he was the first guest picker that beat us both, I believe.
Yeah. What a performance. Some really great picks. Highlighting some of Drew's picks here that really panned out. He had the Vikings pick there where we both picked the Cowboys. He got the Vikings over us there. And then he got the Bills. What was the other one? I was looking at got the Bears. Yeah, I can't believe he got that Vikings one. That was funny. I was texting him about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had a really good week. You had a good week too, Dad. 10 and 6.
I did a couple risky moves and didn't pan out, but that's all right. I'm still beating you. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk more about kind of these games through the week 16 picks here. We are at the end here, just a few weeks left in the NFL. And so of course no buys this week. Everybody's playing.
First of all, there's 3 weeks left, everybody. 3 weeks. Yep. So obviously these games are ultra important. There's only 19 teams left that are playoff eligible. 14 teams have been eliminated. So they're playing for nothing but pride. So it's huge. There's only 14 spots. There's 13 teams eliminated. 14 teams make it. 19 teams left. My apology. So I was looking at this beforehand. So needless to say, some huge games with teams in the playoff race. And the teams that are out, we'll see if they got any pride and gonna go out there and try to screw up their draft picks.
Yeah, there's a million if then scenarios here. So next week we'll definitely have more of a playoff picture. Still a few weeks left here, which a lot can happen. You know, if this then that, all that kind of stuff there. So still definitely time for a bit of a shakeup here for sure. But then yeah, so starting with this electric Thursday night
Yeah, this is gonna
game.
be a great game here.
Yeah, we have the LA Rams at the Seattle Seahawks at Lumen Field. The Rams are the favorite in this one by 1.5 points. What do you think, Marie?
This is a difficult game. I know
Mhm.
Devontae Adams is still potentially out with his hamstring injury that
He's doubtful.
he's doubtful that he incurred over the Lions game. I think if they are Devontae Adams less, they still have the potential to win. I think they have offensive weapons like Puka and Coop, who are doing great. The only thing is, I don't think we should overlook the Seattle defense. They've only allowed, I think, 25 points over their past 3 games, and only allowed one touchdown in the last span of those 3 games. So this
Wow.
will be a dogfight. I do think that the LA Rams will stick this one out because they have a lot to lose. They're playing for a lot. You know, they're playing for pride. They want to have that home field advantage in the playoffs. So I'm picking the LA Rams.
All right. Well, yeah, this game is huge. Obviously, these two teams are at the top of the division. They're playing for, that home field, like she said. So I think it's going to be a huge game. The Rams have won 2 in a row now. Seahawks have won 4 in a row now. They're playing at home with the 12th man, but I just, I don't know. There's something about the Rams. I've said it all year now that I think they're going to keep pressing on, even though they are probably without Adams. I think Colby Parkinson is going to have a huge game for them. He's been really coming on. And with Adams out, I think he even sees a little bit more targets. So I'm going to go with the Rams, even though Puka did call out the refs today. He may get even more calls against them. I don't know if anybody heard about that today. He said all the refs in that are just terrible in the NFL, basically, and that they are just wanting to throw flags so that they could be seen on TV. So, well, he might be seen a lot now. So, even though I'm still going to go the Rams, Corum's really been coming on. Him and Williams have almost done a 50-50 split on the running backs. I'm going to go with the Rams.
I'm also going with the Rams here. This is obviously a very tough game here, but I think the slight edge to the Rams here. They have more of a loaded roster compared to the Seahawks here, but it really is a coin flip of a game. I almost see myself picking the Seahawks here with how good their defense is truly, and just the squad they have around them. But yeah, like y'all said, I'm gonna go with the Rams as well. They are slight favorites on the road there, so that says a lot.
No,
And
no, they're
so
not. Yeah, I've Seattle minus 1.5.
you have Seattle -1.5?
That's what I do. Yeah.
Oh, I have the Rams -1.5.
Okay. Well, maybe it turned. That's what I got. I got that out the score.
Oh, I have yeah, Seattle 1.5.
Yeah.
Maybe it changed when last time I checked, or maybe I got it wrong there. Okay, so Seattle is the favorite 1.5. Interesting. Still picking the Rams though. All right, now we have 2 Saturday games here. We have a Saturday game at 5 p.m. We have the Eagles at the Commanders at Northwest Stadium, and the Eagles are the favorite by 6.5 points in this one.
You know, I've heard throughout the season that AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts are having a little bit of a marital spat. And the girls were fighting, okay? The girls were fighting all over the place. They couldn't get it together. But I do think since Jaden Daniels is down for the season, Marcus Mariota is going to be stepping in. It's very likely that the Philly Eagles will win. The Washington defense are the 29th in passing yards allowed per game, allowing nearly 27 points per game this season. So I think the Philadelphia Eagles have a great shot at winning this game, and will be somewhat similar to their matchup last year.
All right. In this one, like you said, Daniel's out for the season. Mariota has come in. He has been very. He's done a nice job overall, even though, you know, they're a little under, what they should be. I still think that Krusky Merritt, Bill had a good game last week. I still think the Eagles are going to win that division. So I'm going to go with the Eagles minus the 6.5, but it could be even closer than 6.5. I may even take the Washington Commanders instead with the spread, but I'm going to go Eagles.
Yeah, I think AJ Brown and Hertz have came around one another. AJ has been performing a bit better here. They've been connecting a little bit more. So right before this playoffs here, which the Eagles are clearly going to be in there, they need to really put some things together. And so I think this is a perfect game for them to blow out the Commanders, in my opinion. I don't like plus 6.5 for the Commanders. I love the Eagles minus 6.5 here. So give me the Eagles. Give me minus 6.5 on the road against Washington. Next here is the Saturday night game at 8:20 start. The Packers at the Bears here at Soldier Field in Chicago. The Packers are the favorite by 1.5 points. What do you think
I
about
have it
the?
the other way, Luke.
You have it
I
the other
have
way?
I,
No
I
way.
have the Bears minus one
You're
and a
kidding.
half.
You're kidding. I swear that one I'm positive that line, and it did change. The line changed, folks. It changed. It's not. Yeah, it's minus 1.5 for the Bears now. I need to
Yeah.
double check these lines when I'm writing this. I
Yeah.
literally wrote this down yesterday.
Yeah.
Give
So
It's
me
changed.
and today's Wednesday. Wow, that's surprising.
give me Caleb Williams. I love that man. Bring back great Chicago football. I mean, what a performance. He's just gotten better and better over time. I think, people have doubted him as uh, the entire season, but I do think he is going to be the reason why they win this game. In addition to the fact that the Green Bay Packers probably have like a full injury report heading into this game. Micah Parsons is out with a torn ACL. Kristen Watson is questionable with a chest and shoulder injury. I'm not saying that this is not going to be a tough game. I do think this is going to be a nice fight for both teams, but I do think the Bears are going to win this one out. Hopefully, my man Caleb Williams does his little magic that we see.
My man. My man. You
Yeah,
paying your bills? Don't think so. Yeah.
Shut up.
Anyways, I'm going with the Packers. I listen. They're a little dinged up, obviously Watson, but he did practice today. Limited practice he had. I just think Dunze late scratch last week. He re-injured himself in warm-ups. He may not play. Burden hurt his ankle. He may not play. So all they're going to have left is DJ Moore and Loveland. I just think that Green Bay has the better defense than the Bears, so I'm taking Green Bay to win this game.
Taking Green Bay. Okay. Yeah, Micah Parsons out, like Marie said. That's obviously a big hit against them here. And yeah, I mean, like I swear this was in the favor towards the Packers yesterday, and now it's literally the opposite for the Bears. I was looking at some of the other spreads, a few different changes over the past day here. So obviously injuries play a factor in all those, as well as just kind of moving lines. Definitely some close games here as well this week, getting into the thick of it at the end of the season. And so for this game, I am going to pick the Bears. They lost 2 weeks ago against the Packers, and I think they get their get back here. They just beat the Browns, obviously at home. They
didn't beat anybody. They played against the elementary team.
Hey, all right. Well, I get it. I'm gonna pick the Bears.
All right.
I'll shut up now. Next here is the Chargers at the Cowboys. Cowboys are the favorite by 2.5 points at AT&T Stadium. Cowboys are the favorite by 2.5 points. What do you think, Marie?
I love Jerry, love the Cowboys, love the franchise. Do not think they're going to win. Prescott threw 292 yards last week, but still somehow lost to the Vikings. I mean, with a quarterback like that and you're still losing, what a shame, man. They've got a list of injuries, and their cornerback, Trayvon Deshaun Diggs, continues to have injuries. There's a lot of controversy around him. The Cowboys are pretty much thinking about releasing him to kind of free up some money for against the 2026 cap. And the Chargers have allowed the ninth fewest points per game and have the second longest drive average in the NFL. I mean, this team has been playing incredibly well, and the Cowboys have surrendered the third most rushing first downs. So if the Chargers basically run the ball, they are more likely to win.
I agree
And that's
totally. I think the Chargers are going to win this one. I love the two-headed Munster of Vidal and Hampton to run the ball all over Dallas. I think they're going to run the ball well. Dallas doesn't seem like they really want to be there. So, and they're the next team out. So they lose one game, or if somebody else wins a game, and there's all kinds of different, things going on with that they could get knocked out next. So I'm going to the Chargers and Justin Herbert, and just hope his hand stays healthy.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised maybe that Dallas is favored in this one by 2.5 there. I think that the Chargers have the edge in my opinion, so I am picking the Chargers. With Herbert, he has 3,191 passing yards. His number one receiver, McConkey, has 61 receptions and 5 touchdowns there. So I think they're gonna pull it off with the slight edge there, but I think this is going to be a high scoring game in this one. The over under is 48.5, and I think we hit the over on that one, and that will be a hit there in my opinion. So taking the over and taking the Chargers on the road.
I'm going under.
You're going under?
I would go under on that, just because I don't think Dallas is going to score as much as they should. The Chargers defense is very good. I think she said they're ranked 9th. I think they're pretty good defense. They get key interceptions and everything. I just see that them holding that everybody under 48.5.
Okay, we'll see. Next here is the Buccaneers at the Panthers. The Buccaneers are favored by 3 points on the road at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. What do you think, Marie?
My God. I think the Panthers have nothing to lose. I mean, like, Bryce Young is obviously very hungry. He wants to win. He's a very competitive guy. However, I think Tampa wants it more. Their loss last week was brutal. And they're still in the hunt to win the division. So I honestly think that Tampa Bay is going to win. They have lost two straight games the past 2 weeks, and have lost 5 of their past 6 games, or something like that. I don't think the Panthers are a great team. I think they rank one of the lowest in the NFL. They haven't had consecutive wins since mid-October, and we are in December. So I think the Panthers are incredibly inconsistent, and it's just Bucs win.
All right. Well, I think, like you were saying, I think both these teams have been terribly inconsistent. I mean, both teams last week, division on the line, they both lose to teams that are inferior to them. I mean, Carolina lost to New Orleans, Tampa Bay lost to Atlanta. These teams, they're not even in the playoff picture, and they're losing these teams. And Tampa Bay lost at home to boot. So this game is a coin tosser for sure. I just like the receivers on Tampa Bay better, and they do have their full complement of receivers. They just need to cut down a little bit on their turnovers, get Bucky the ball, and I'm going to go with Tampa Bay to win this game.
Yeah, I think Tampa is the clear favorite in this one, even though surprisingly, I mean, both these teams are 7-7 here. So, I mean, crazy enough, I wouldn't think these two teams would be both 7-7 as it stands right there. They are playing for the division here, so this is about as big as a game as it gets right here. Both 7-7 in the NFC South there. Atlanta and New Orleans is eliminated, so they're playing for everything. It would truly be crazy to me seeing Tampa Bay lose this game, seeing them lose the division to Carolina. But boy, yeah, that would be something there if the Panthers win that. Um, so with that said, I think the Buccaneers need to bounce back. They need to be consistent at the end of the season to have that playoff push, and I think they will. I think they will pull that off and get this dub here.
Yeah, I
That's
think
my prediction.
whoever wins this game it definitely has the advantage going on, but whoever loses is, it's there's not going to be a wild card between these two. It's going to be whoever wins the division gets in and the other one's out. So this is
Yeah.
huge for both of them.
Yeah, huge, crazy. Next one is the Vikings at the Giants at MetLife Stadium. The Vikings are the favorite by 3 points on the road. What do you think, Marie?
You know, shout out to Scataboo. If you ever make it back, I will do a shoey just for you. You're incredibly entertaining to watch on the internet. Just shout out to him. But Giants will have their fifth kicker of the season after dropping the Korean Young Ho Ko from their roster. Their punt team actually sucks. I think they're ranked 31st in net putting yardage this season and one of the 5 teams to place a punt inside the 5-yard line. Their outside linebacker, Cito Bo, I think is how you say his name, is still recovering from his shoulder injury. I don't know. This was just a hard game for me to decide who's gonna win. I think Minnesota's run defense is like 24th in the league. They've allowed 127 yards per game, 13th average yards per play in the league. So I think the Giants have probably a slim chance of winning if they run the ball, but they have a below average offense and a defense that has allowed 31.5 points and 390 yards, total yards per game in the last 8 games. So I think it comes down to who's hungrier, and I think JJ McCarthy just wants this more.
Well, I agree. I'm going to go Vikings also. JJ has been starting to look better the last couple games now. He's starting to hit his points. He's spreading the ball around. Naylor, Jefferson's starting to catch some more balls. Hawkinson caught some balls. The Giants' defense is just not good. I could see Jordan Mason definitely scoring. He's one of my TDs for the week. I can see Jordan Mason scoring a touchdown here and really running. They could really run the ball well. So I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings for the victory.
I am also taking the Vikings here. This is not really any importance of this game here. Obviously, both these teams are eliminated from playoff contention here. Giants being 2-12, and the Vikings being 6-8. Both eliminated from the playoffs here. Doesn't mean a whole lot, but I think the Vikings squeak it out. They're probably the better team over the Giants there. Next here is the Buffalo Bills at the Cleveland Browns at Huntington Bank Field. The Bills are the favorite by 10.5 points. A whopping 10.5 points there. What do you think, Murray?
And I don't think that's for a bad reason. I think Vegas knows what they're doing. I mean, this is a quarterback who is in contention for MVP. He has had 3 touchdowns with no interceptions in the last 2 games, ran for a TD against the Bengals, and has been up to 3,276 passing yards with 25 TD touchdowns and 10 interceptions this season. I mean, he is deserving of that Lombardi trophy. And I think the Bills just want to go get it for him. Um, there's no hope for the Browns at this point. Sad to say, but like the controversy with Stefanski allegedly giving Shedeur the wrong wristband or whatever, the Browns seem to be not wanting to win at all. The games that we went to together, special teams lost that game for the Browns. Um, I genuinely don't know what's going on in the Browns organization, just generally in the front office or what's going on with the team. I think their only hope is that Garrett somehow manages to sack Josh Allen. multiple times.
Well, I'm also going to take Buffalo. I'd take Buffalo minus 14 at least on this one. Cleveland's that's the thing is you mentioned Cleveland special teams are the worst special teams in the National Football. They're horrible. I just cannot believe that they did not fire that guy already, Bubba Ventura. He's terrible. But yeah, I think Miles needs a sack and a half or 2 sacks. I think maybe it's 2 sacks because he got 1.5 sacks last game to break the all-time sack record. That's the only thing that the Browns are really playing for is a guy to get some sacks so he can break a sack record. How sad is that? Once again, the mistake on the lake is in full effect. And the other side of Lake Erie is going to come down and put a whooping on. End of story.
Yeah, the other side.
Matter of fact, that stadium will be 70% at least Bills fans. You watch, no doubt in my mind.
Are you
Sold
going?
my tickets, I'm sure, to a Bills fan. I hope they enjoy it.
Sold your tickets to a Bills fan?
I don't know, probably did. That's the only people are buying them. I know the Browns fans are going to buy them.
Yeah. Obviously, this one is clearly a Bills win here. No way. I'm picking the Browns here. It's enough said. Don't really have anything to say before I start crying or something. All right, let's move on to the next game here. We have the Chiefs at the Titans. The Chiefs are the favorite by 3.5 points on the road at Nissan Stadium. What do you think on this one, Marie?
This was difficult. I think Mahomes just being out with a season-ending knee injury. A lot of people are questioning if this is the end of the so-called Kansas Chief legacy legendary run that they've been on. But I don't think this is the case for this particular game. I know Kelsey hasn't been performing as much, but he has had 96 yards on 67 catches with 5 touchdowns this season. He hasn't had any in the last 2 weeks. I understand that it's been difficult for him. However, the Titans are awful against tight ends. I mean, if you look at their performance against the San Francisco 49ers, I think they let George Kittle go for 88 yards and a touchdown on 8 catches. Titans defense, not so sure. So I think the Chiefs are favored for a reason, and it's going to be a ugly, low-scoring game.
All right, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to take KC just because Tennessee's even worse than KC. Tennessee has no desire to win. They want to stay on top of the draft, up there 1 or 2. So I definitely see KC winning. You got Gardner Minshew coming back in to play some football for the Kansas City Chiefs. Rice is in concussion protocol. So, once again, this is another poop bowl game. There's a lot of poop bowl games, but I'm going to go with KC.
Yeah, the Chiefs, obviously, the questions of is this the end of the dynasty potentially? Is Kelsey going to retire? I don't see that happening. You think so?
See Kelsey. Oh, Kelsey is going to retire.
You think?
No doubt in my mind.
He's got that Taylor Swift money.
Yes, he's going to be a stay-at-home dad, taking care of the kids, doing his podcast, and set off in the sunset. He's.
I don't know. I don't know. I think he could give one more crack at it to at least get into the playoffs. I mean,
they'll be lucky if Mahomes ain't back till the middle of the season. I know he started his rehab today already, they said, but I mean, they say he's gunning for the first game of the season. That's a short turnaround. I mean, it's almost January 1st, and they start at beginning of September. That's 8 months. That's short turnaround.
Take the year off, rebuild the entire, find some other offensive weapons, rebuild the O-line, do what you got to do, and then come back in 2027 and win a championship again.
Well, they definitely need to rebuild that O-line for sure.
Yeah. Well,
Luke, who's your pick?
Gardner Minshew at the start. Kansas City is so beat up; they're not playing for anything anymore. I think the Titans steal this one and get a dub at home. So the Titans are my pick here.
All right, I hope they do. Screw up the draft picks. Here we go. I love it.
Yep. Next here is the Bengals at the Dolphins at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The Bengals are the favorite by 4.5 points. Yesterday it was 2.5 points. Now it's 4.5 points. It's gone up here. Marie,
Get some heavy
you're
betting going on
holding your
between
head.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. Marie, you're holding your head. What's up here?
In the last press conference, my quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals announced that he is quite frankly depressed and that no team in the NFL would like his performance. Is that true? I don't think so. I think there are worse quarterbacks in the NFL than Joe Burrow. I think he was being way too harsh on himself. However, I think it is a clear indication of where the Bengals organization is at. And I think we're at a crossroads. We either go the Browns path where we're going to lose again for years on end and never see daylight, or we take this moment, recollect ourselves, and truly think about what's good for this organization and for the city, the beautiful Queen City. Our quarterback being depressed, I mean, there's reason to be depressed. His O-line does not protect him. There's a reason why he's been injured multiple times over the past 4 years. However, I think Tua is being benched for his poor performance. Evers is going to play. Don't know, never seen Evers play. So in the NFL so far, I think don't know what's going to happen. I think the Miami Dolphins have been falling apart. They're this is like another poop ball game. I don't know what to expect at all. I think I've just been so disappointed with the Bengals this season that I'm going to give the Miami Dolphins a shot here. I can't pick the Bengals at all. I'm like not expecting anything at this point. Just lose. Get a higher draft pick. I don't
You're
care.
going with the Dolphins?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna go Bengals here. Obviously, reluctantly, once again, another crummy game. Obviously, the O line is the problem. There's a lot of things they'd have to do in order to get as bad as the Browns. Okay, a lot. First of all, they would have to trade Burrow if they're going to go to that depth. And if they did that, obviously they would get a ton of draft capital. But you don't trade a franchise quarterback. You got to build around him. And the best thing to do is for them to go out and draft 5 linemen this year and just keep building that line. And then they got to go out and build that defense too. So they got a lot to do. But I am going to go Bengals. Ewers, we'll see what he could do. Obviously, the Dolphins were hot there for a little bit. They got won 4 in a row. Now they've lost 2 in a row. Or 1 in a row. They lost 1. I just see I know that Burrow likes the warm weather. Chase likes the warm weather. I think Higgins might be back this week from concussion protocol. So I could see them putting up a lot of points. So I'm going to take the Bengals.
Yeah, it's been a tough year for the Bengals for sure. Dolphins, Quinn Ewers starting in this one over Tua. It's about time probably to get something different there. Even though they had a good stretch there, like you said, Dad, where they were winning games, but they are eliminated from the playoffs. Bengals are eliminated from the playoffs here. Not much you're playing for here, so throw out the rookie there, see what you could do. I obviously the O-line for the Bengals is subpar, but I do think there is a conversation need to be had of Joe Burrow himself here and his passing ability, his pocket poise, his mindset, however that is there. He hasn't had the best O-line, and he probably has one of the worst franchises in the league there, with the Bengals and how they have with their staff and underpaying and the whole ownership and everything else. I mean, definitely a whole debacle there, but I don't see Joe Burrow as a top 3 quarterback like many people do. Many people think that Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the league, bar none, or number 2. And I'm just like, I personally don't know anymore until he is playing at that stature. You're telling me last week he has 0 touchdowns, a 0 on the board is ridiculous. You can't blame the O-line completely on a game like that. It's got to be more. So With all that being said, I think the Bengals do turn around a little bit this week and they beat the Dolphins. They are not going to put up 0 on the board here. A little bit of fire under them to get a little bit of something. Zach Taylor will be the coach for another year, unfortunately, for the Bengals because there's 1 year left in his contract. And
So he's going to be a lame duck coach.
The Bengals really do not fire quarterbacks, and if they do, they fire them way too late.
Coaches.
That's coach. Oh, sorry. Yeah, coaches, and so that's the way it's gonna be. So, but I'm picking the Bengals in this one. It'll do just enough to save the head coach job and to appease Joe to stay there for another year. Next one here is the Jets at the Saints at Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. The Saints are the favorite by 4.5 points.
Mark is, I don't know why thumbs down. Why thumbs down?
Because once again, another terrible game.
Okay, well, this is the week of terrible games. But, however, I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints. They have back-to-back wins. It seems like they have some type of momentum carrying them out. Show, or however you say the quarterback's name, is giving some Louisiana fans some hope. It's still going to be a dogfight, but I think just the momentum that New Orleans Saints have are going to win them this game, and I think they're hungry and they want it. So.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm gonna take the Saints. I'd go up to 7 points on this. I think they've been playing really well the last 2 games. Heck, they beat Carolina last week. They're at home again. Neal is out with a hamstring. They're running back, so you're gonna have Estime in there. You still got Brady Cook as quarterback for the Jets. Not good. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the home guys here and take them to win at least by 7.
Yeah, Saints have definitely been playing better, like you said there. Obviously, this isn't a good game. Jets are 3-11, and Saints are 4-10 here. So yeah, Saints with the slight edge. They're at home as well, so I'm gonna give it to the Saints as well there. Next here is a actual good game here. We have the Jaguars at the Broncos at Empower Field at Mile High in Denver. Denver is the favorite by 3 points in this game.
First of all, can we talk about Lawrence? What a game. What a man. What a superstar. I've watched him throughout the season. This guy, I mean, it's undeniable. He threw a season high of 330 yards, throwing a career high of 5 touchdown passes and running in a 6 score. Basically, amazing game on his part. However, I do not think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be able to beat the Denver Broncos. They're the last unbeaten team at home this season. They have won 12 consecutive home games, which is their longest streak since 2012. And Denver is the only team that has led in every single game that they have played this season. They're not unbeatable defensively. They have allowed top scoring weeks to like Jackson Dart and Daniel Jones, but I think they're such a not even a sleeping giant. They're a force to be reckoned with, and this is going to be a brutal battle. But I am going with the Broncos.
I am also going to go with the Broncos. It's hard to believe you're -3 at home, so that means basically it's an even up game. You're leading the AFC, and I know Jacksonville's been on the heater. I really get that. I mean, I've seen Lawrence throw his best balls last week of the season. He's pinpoint now. Jacoby Myers coming in has been a huge upgrade. Even Brian Thomas has been getting in the action now because he was like dead to the world for the first 3 quarters of the season almost. And so it's hard to go against the Broncos at home, like you said. They don't lose at home, so I might have to take the Broncos -3.
Yeah, this is probably maybe the Rams and Seahawks is a little bit tougher, but this is probably the toughest game of the week for me to pick here. I I really like the Jaguars. I really want to pick them, but the Broncos being at home gives them that edge. But just the way the Broncos play here, I think they do have the edge in this game against Jacksonville. Jacksonville being 10-4, and the Broncos being 12-2. Both teams have had just tremendous seasons, and should be making the playoffs there for sure.
Yeah, they could play each
And
other
so,
again in the
yeah,
playoffs. Who knows?
that'd be great. Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna give the edge to Denver here. Unfortunately, I kind of want to pick Jacksonville, especially after all the things y'all said about Jacksonville. That was really good. I'm gonna stick with the Broncos in this one at home.
Knicks has been on a
So
heater
next,
too. Knicks has been playing well.
yep. Next game here is the Falcons at the Cardinals at State Farm Stadium. The Falcons are the favorite by 3 points in this one.
I'm gonna go with, I mean, the fact that Penix is on IR, London is questionable. Um, Nobody really knows how this. I think this is a coin flip game. Um, I do think that the Falcons are likely to win just because they have Bijan Robinson. Containing him for the Cardinals offense will be difficult. So I'm going to go with the Falcons. I think they're favored for a reason.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Falcons. Bam Knight is out for the season now. They're going to have Carter come in and maybe a little DeMarcado as a little split backfield there for Arizona. London may be back, they said. They said he may be back. So Kyle Pitts is on fire. I mean, he had 3 touchdowns last game. Looked amazing. But McBride is just an absolute stud for Arizona. It could be the tight end battle game, obviously, because both these teams are out of the playoff picture. Um, I'm going to take the Falcons just because I think they got a little bit more than Arizona has. So I'm going to go with the Falcons.
Yeah, the Falcons obviously had a really good win last week and a close one against the Buccaneers. And what a game for Kyle Pitts. He had 11 receptions, 166 yards, and 3 touchdowns in the win over the Bucks there. So, yeah, Kyle Pitts is really playing lights out there. Kirko is getting him the ball just right there, showing that the old men could still sling it. And so I'm picking the Falcons against the Cardinals in this one. Falcons 5-9, Cardinals 3-11 there. So I think the Falcons get another tally in that win column for themselves there.
Kirko really said, take over their trap and make it your coming out party. And that's exactly what Kyle Pitts did.
Walk into your trap and take over your
Take over
trap.
the trap.
Next game here is the Raiders at the Texans here. We have the game at Energy Stadium in Houston. The Texans are heavy favorites by 14.5 points. What do you think, Marie?
I think the Texans offense has quietly cooled down after a hot midseason stretch. I think they're still efficiently strong, but the explosive plays have been kind of quieting down. I do think that CJ Stroud is still an elite quarterback. I think the Raiders have been inconsistent in terms of pass rush limits disruptions. And so, uh, with everything going on, I'm gonna pick the Texans. I think they're hot right now.
Yep, it's Texans hands down. I mean, biggest spread of the week, -14. Raiders are absolutely terrible. The defense for the Texans will win them the game by themselves. The offense doesn't have that. You have to do anything. So I'm taking the Texans win big. Lights out.
Not much to say on this one as well. Raiders, probably the worst team in the league. Doing really great this season. Biggest spread here. Yeah, geez. I mean, the Raiders are even worse than the Browns, and that's saying a lot. Yep, Texans in this one is what I am picking. Next game is the Steelers at the Lions at Ford Field. Lions are the favorite by 7 points. What do you think, Marie?
I love Amon St. Brown. That is my fellow German. It's us against the world. Honestly, for all the Germans watching this game, any German is going to support the Lions just because of that fact. But I think playing Jared Goff at home is completely different. I mean, you're playing a completely different quarterback than if you were to play him, um, uh, when he's away. I hate the Steelers. I've hated the Steelers for a really long time, and for me, it's just Lions got to win. They got to beat they got to beat. They have to beat Pittsburgh. They really do.
Okay, then. Well, then. Well, I mean, this is a huge game for Detroit. They lose this game, they're probably going to be out. They have to win out. I mean, between Chicago and Green Bay, that's a huge game in the division. Those three teams are still in the race there. So while Green Bay and the Bears are beating each other up, the Lions going to beat Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh looked pretty good on Monday night. They did play against the Dolphins, but they looked a lot better. But I think this is a must win for Detroit. Yeah, I think this is going to be one of the good games of the week. I'm going the Lions. They're not going to lie down this time.
Yeah, we did predict the Lions were going to lie down, and they did last week. They lost, right?
Yep.
And so we were right about that. But yeah, I think the Lions roar back this week, and they get a much needed home win there. They need to win out to have a chance here. They're 8-6. Green Bay right above them in the division is 9-4. Chicago's 10-4. So I mean, they're still in it. But there's no room for error. They can't lose again, especially not to Pittsburgh here. And so I think they will pull out the dub here, and I'm taking the Lions at home. Next game is the Patriots at the Ravens at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. Baltimore is the favorite by 3 points in this one. What do you think, Marie?
I love Big Miss. However,
Yeah.
I
Oh.
don't think the Patriots are going to win this one. I think Stephon Diggs, he has had a couple good games. Wait, is he on? He's on the Patriots? Yes, he is.
He's
No.
on New England.
No.
He's on New England. Diggs is on
He
New
is?
England.
Okay,
Yes.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah. I'm just double checking.
You were saying another Diggs to me yesterday, and I was
Yeah,
like,
that's
wait,
what I'm saying. There's two Diggses. There's multiple Diggses in this league, but Stephon Diggs has had great games in the past. I didn't see him last week. I think, the Patriot offense still lacks red zone efficiency. They need the talent gap is significant. I don't think they can win this one at all. So I'm going to give it to the Ravens. They beat the Bengals. I mean, that was just an embarrassing game for the Ravens at the Bengals, and the Ravens just won. I mean, that was a Lamar Jackson special right there. And I think they're hot. They have the momentum, and they're going to want to win.
Well, New England has to win this game too. They want to they want to keep that top spot. Even though they blew it at the end last week against Buffalo, is back and forth. Then Henderson had a couple big runs. Then then Cook had a couple big runs, and it was back and forth, back and forth. It was a really good game last week. I just think the Patriots are going to win this game. I just think they're the better all-around team. Patriots have a very good defense. They have a very good offense, and I just Jackson's been inconsistent all year. He had a decent game against the Bengals, but everybody should have a decent game against the Bengals because they're the Bengals. So I really see New England coming in and taking the victory on this one on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, Sunday Night Football. Honestly, I was surprised, and I double checked as well. The line hasn't changed. I was surprised. I thought it was an error at first when I read it that the Ravens were favored in this one. I
Home field.
I don't know. Am I missing something here?
No, it's a home. It's a
I
home field.
I think
it's pick 'em.
Yeah, but the Ravens still to me have not been playing that good. They beat the Bengals last week 24-0. Yeah, that means nothing, right? Like the Patriots were just in a shootout to with the Bills, one of the best teams in the league there. I think the Patriots are going to blow them out of the water. I like the Patriots minus 10 in this one. So I
Wow.
was super surprised at this line. I think the Patriots are gonna blow them out of the water. They need to get a win here to
Mhm.
stay at the top of the division, and so I'm picking the Patriots. I'm picking
I like it.
Ann and Bakemas all the way.
I agree with you. I like the Patriots too.
Shout out Anne. She has been doing an amazing job with Bakemas.
There you go. Finally, here we have the Monday night game. We have the 49ers at the Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium and Indy. The Niners are the favorite by 6 points on the road. What do you think in this one, Marie?
This is so hard. This is so hard. Uh, um, I think the 49ers, despite, they're a pretty resilient, gritty team. No matter their injuries, they keep sledding, they keep moving on, they keep working. When, um, base, if Christian McCaffrey is playing, golly, I mean, he's a stud. Um, I think the Colts offense has improved, but they struggle versus the type of elite seven that the 49ers are going to have. The defensive line for the 49ers just basically overwhelms every single O line, like every time. I think the 49ers get this dub.
All right,
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna go with San
49ers.
Francisco also. I know they're traveling across town on a Monday night. But Philip Rivers, he was serviceable at best. I mean, his arm strength is weak. He's very weak. He's never had great arm strength, but he has produced a Hall of Fame tight end over his years. But I just don't. I say this game means something to both teams. It's Colts lose, they're pretty much going to be eliminated too. So, but I got to go with
Crazy.
the 49ers. At least it's a meaningful game on a Monday night. It's always nice to see. So I'm going to go 49ers to win it.
Yeah, the Colts really are playing for their lives here. Crazy that they could potentially miss the playoffs. I mean, I thought they were a surefire in
And then the
for the
Jones
playoffs here
injury and
for sure. Yeah, I mean, they
yeah.
definitely deserve to be in the playoffs 100%. And so I think like story-wise, Philip Rivers coming in, getting a home win with the Colts in this one on Monday night, prime time. It's too good of a story for me to pass up here. So I'm picking the Colts. I'm picking Philip Rivers. He had a serviceable, okay game last week. They really should have won. They should have won in that one. And he led a drive at the end to have the field goal, but unfortunately there was just a little bit of time left for them to then hit it on the opposing side to lose. Think the Colts can get this done and squeak it out and possibly against the 49ers here.
Well, you know why he's really the
What are you
MVP
saying,
of the
Ben?
whole thing. You know why that Philip Rivers is really the whole MVP, don't you?
Why?
So, Philip Rivers was coming up on his fifth year out of the league. He was getting ready to be probably inducted in the Hall of Fame probably within the next couple years. But
Mhm.
the players have health insurance for 5 years until they're while they're out of the league. And his health insurance was just getting ready to run out and he came back. So now he gets another 5 years of health insurance for his huge family that he has. So what a
Yep,
bonus.
10 kids.
He gets health insurance. I mean, I know it's not much, it's not a big deal probably for millionaires, but when you got, 8 to 10 kids or whatever, I mean, it's
That's a
huge,
big
I think.
deal.
And
Yeah.
it's awesome. I think that's just awesome that's I've heard that story this week. I'm like, that's cool. I mean, it's worth it just to come back for a couple games to get that. Why not? Hopefully he doesn't need the health
Yeah.
insurance and he stays healthy.
Yeah, I've heard that a couple times. That's funny. So, all right. Well, that is week 16 there. We do have some anytime touchdown picks. Do you have any anytime touchdown picks, Marie?
I was not prepared for that because you didn't let me know that I needed to do that, but I'll let you two go
Okay.
at
Well,
it.
yeah.
Wow.
Let us go at it, and then you can pick with
Calling
two
you
here.
out,
Okay.
Luke. I'm going to take
All right. This is what
Jordan
we do every
Mason,
week
like I
here. I'm
said earlier. I'm taking Jordan Mason for a touchdown for the Vikes. I'm taking Estime for a touchdown for the Saints. Boom. That would be a good one.
Oh, okay. I'm going to take Colby Parkinson
I like
for
that
a
one.
touchdown tight end on the Rams there. I like that one. Next one, I'm going to take James Cook with two touchdowns. Two touchdowns for
Against
James
the
Cook
Brownies, huh? Yeah,
against the
right.
Brownies. Yep.
He's gonna be
I really like that
He's gonna be
parlayed up.
eating some brownies. Yeah. Cookie.
Maybe Anne will make some brownies.
All right.
Anytime touchdown picks, Marie, just off the top of your dome?
Ugh, I don't think so. I would
No.
say I hope that Travis Kelce gets a touchdown, but I know that's very unlikely to happen. I just want this man to retire with dignity, okay?
It could happen.
Gardner Minshew is a
happen.
serviceable quarterback. I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Especially if Ray Cerrone's out and everything.
Yep. That's my pick.
Mhm.
If T. Higgins comes back, anytime touchdown for him. Yeah.
Mhm.
But also not really very disgruntled with the Bengals organization. I mean, if anybody hears me in the Bengals organization, please fire Zach Taylor. Please do. It's time. Okay, we need to move on. It's been enough. I have suffered through this enough. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
You
was
know nothing about
tough week.
suffering. Nothing at all. 26 years of suffering. You know nothing. The Browns need to do everything. They need to fire their GM, their coach. I wish they could somehow get a new owner, but they're not going to do any of those things. They better fire, I'm telling you what, they better fire Stefanski and they better fire Barry. That's all I know. End of story.
Yeah, end of story.
What do you think about who's going to be the next Titans head coach?
Who cares?
All right. Thank you so much, Marie, for being on the podcast and gracing us with your amazing ball knowledge.
She had some stats. I love it. She did a great job.
For all of our future guests, listen to this podcast and know that you should be coming in with the facts just like this here. What a great job. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for the honor. I hope I represented the girls. I hope I brought some stats and some data, girl tea, everything that you ever wanted. And I hope you have some more women on this podcast because football's not just for boys, guys. It's for girls too. And we actually also have some ball knowledge. So who knows? Love y'all.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is it for us. We'll be back next week. The Robinson Replay. Peace.